The moment I typed my first message, my webcam light turned on. This happened in 2016 when I was still a university student in Portland, Oregon. I wasn't a hacker or even particularly tech-savvy, just curious. I had read about the deep web on Reddit, watched a few YouTube documentaries, and like most naive people, I thought, what's the worst that could happen? I downloaded the Tor browser, followed the basic precautions, VPN, dummy email, no personal details. It was almost thrilling to see websites without .com endings, random gibberish URLs that led to hidden chat rooms, ancient forums, and marketplaces that looked like something from a dystopian future. One night I found a link called Eyes Only Just That. No description, no previews. I clicked. It brought me to a plain black screen with red text. You can look, but we'll look back. I thought it was a joke, part of the deep web edginess, until I typed, hello? That's when my webcam light turned on. I hadn't given it permission. I froze. Then a reply appeared in the chat. Nice room, green walls, old laptop, nervous hands. They were watching me. I slammed my laptop shut. When I opened it the next day, the forum was gone. The URL dead, browser history wiped. But something had changed. Over the next week, I'd wake up to emails I didn't send. My phone would restart itself at 3:33 a.m. nightly. One morning, I found my door unlocked, even though I always double-check. Then the pictures started. Black and white photos, printed, not digital, left in my mailbox. Me, sitting at my desk, sleeping on the couch, talking on the phone. They were always from behind me. I reported it to the campus police. They told me it was probably a prank. Stay off the weird sites, they said. One night, I couldn't sleep. Around 2:15 a.m., I opened my laptop, disconnected from Wi-Fi, and checked the camera logs. It had been activated exactly 43 times in the past week. Then I heard a whisper through my headphones, though they weren't plugged in. Look out the window. I did. Someone was standing on the sidewalk, not moving, just staring at my building. I turned off all the lights and didn't sleep that night. I moved out of my dorm, changed phones, switched laptops, went off the internet for months. But once during a road trip in Arizona, I stopped at a gas station. In the restroom stall, scratched into the metal wall, was a message in the exact same font as that old form. Eyes only, never blinks. I don't go on tour anymore. I don't even use social media. But every year on the exact date I first opened Eyes Only, I receive a blank email with one image attached. Always a photo of me, from the back, taken recently, and always captioned, still watching. What would you do if the deep web was watching you and never stopped? Red Room live stream. It wasn't the blood that made me vomit. It was the part where he read my name. This happened in 2019 when I was going through a rough time. I had just dropped out of college and I was living in my brother's basement in rural Iowa. Depressed, jobless, and glued to the internet, I stumbled into the darker corners of the web out of boredom and morbid curiosity. That's when I heard about red rooms. If you've never heard the term, consider yourself lucky. They're whispered about in forums, described as deep web pay-per-view horror shows. Live stream torture, real death, supposedly fake. Urban legends, most said. I didn't believe they were real until I saw one. It was a post buried deep in a .onion message board. One night only, no replays, no screenshots. Enter at your own risk. I clicked the link. It led to a blank screen with a ticking countdown and a chat box. Thousands of users, mostly quiet. Then the screen went black and the stream started. A single camera, a small concrete room, dim red lighting, a metal chair in the center. A man, masked, hooded, stepped into frame, dragging a limp, bound figure. I thought it was fake at first. Special effects, actors. That's what I told myself. Until the man pulled out a box cutter and started carving. It wasn't gore that got to me. It was the sounds, the way the victim cried, not like in movies. Real crying, shaking, wet gasps. And then the masked man paused. He walked to the camera, pulled out a piece of paper, and read my real name out loud. Ethan Collins, watching from Iowa. Hello. I fell backward out of my chair. How did he know? I hadn't used my real name. No login, VPN, everything hidden. It made no sense. Then came the chat messages. He's watching you now. Your window's open, Ethan. Nice blue hoodie. I was wearing a blue hoodie. My window was open. I slammed the laptop shut and ran upstairs, heart pounding. I didn't sleep that night. Every sound felt like a footstep. Every shadow, a figure. The next morning I went back to the site. It was gone. The link, dead. The forum, deleted. But in my downloads folder was a single image. A still frame of the man in the mask, pointing at the camera. Behind him, on the wall, written in blood. See you soon, Ethan. I moved across the country, changed my name, new identity, therapy. For a while, I convinced myself it was an elaborate prank. Until last Easter, I got a letter, no return address, just a Polaroid. The same red room, same chair. This time, empty. But on the wall was a new message. Your seat is waiting. I don't watch anything online anymore. Not live, not even YouTube. I cover my cameras. I sleep with a bat. Because if red rooms are real, and I know they are, it means someone, somewhere, is always watching. If your name was read out loud, would you keep watching? They weren't selling drugs or weapons. They were selling body parts with reviews. This happened in 2016 when I was working freelance IT gigs out of San Diego. I had always been into hacking culture, not the criminal kind, just poking around networks, breaking into forgotten servers, exploring the corners of the internet most people never see. One night, I got a ping from an old IRC buddy. Just a link, no context. Surgeon Market 7z6.onion. Curious, I spun up a virtual machine, ran Tails OS, booted up Tor, and clicked. What loaded was grotesque. A fully functioning marketplace. But not for drugs, not for stolen data. It was for organs, lungs, kidneys, eyes, uteruses, tongues, even full limbs. Each listing had a photo, raw, clinical, with details. Left kidney, healthy male, 22 years old, blood type O negative, harvested 48 hours ago. And yeah, there were user reviews. Perfect condition, surgeon was clean, no post-op complications. Will buy again. Delay in delivery, hard arrived 36 hours later than expected. Some of the listings had timers, auctions, bidding wars. Others had videos. I watched one. A man strapped to a gurney, awake, muffled screams, and a masked figure calmly removing his liver with surgical precision. No flinching, no cuts, just practiced efficiency, like he'd done it hundreds of times. I wanted to leave. I tried to close the tab, but it froze. The site blinked. Then the screen turned black. Words appeared. Logged as guest. Viewing time, 4 minutes. Unauthorized entry. Then came another message, redirecting to intake. The screen went white. Then a feed started playing. a security camera of my street, then my house, then my front porch. Live. I ran to the window, nothing. But when I returned to the laptop, the stream had zoomed in on me, sitting at the desk, watching myself. Then the site returned to normal. Thank you for browsing Surgeon's Market. Next client intake scheduled within 48 hours. I nuked the laptop, pulled the battery, took a sledgehammer to it, but the damage was done. For days I couldn't sleep. Every noise felt like a footstep. I boarded up the windows, canceled every job, became a ghost. Then a week later, a package arrived. No label, no postage. Just a box on my doorstep. Inside, a single latex glove, covered in blood. Tucked inside the glove, a note. You have good eyes. We'll take them last. I moved across the country that same day, changed my name, burned every connection. But sometimes, late at night, I still get emails. No subject, no body, just images, surgical tables, clean rooms, people with no eyes. And in every image, somewhere, a glove, the same one. If a marketplace sold you, would you even know you were listed? Story 3, the game you can't uninstall. Once I downloaded it, my phone started recording on its own. This all started in the spring of 2020 during the first major lockdown. I was 23, jobless, bored out of my mind, and spending way too much time in dark corners of Reddit. That's when I came across a thread in RARG. The post had no title, just a strange set of emojis and a link, and below it, only 3 words: don't uninstall it. Curiosity got the better of me. The link led to a hidden APK file titled silenthunt.apk. I downloaded it to my burner phone. The app icon was black, no name, no description. I opened it. It flashed red just once, then launched a plain screen that said, "You've been chosen. Play in silence, record nothing, obey the pings." Then it closed. I laughed it off. Seemed like some ARG stunt or indie horror game. But that night, my phone vibrated once. A ping. The screen lit up with a message. Turn off the lights, open the front door, stand still. It was 2:13 a.m. Something about it. I don't know. It didn't feel like a prank anymore. It felt tailored to me. I ignored the message, but the phone vibrated again and again. Each time the instructions got more aggressive. You are breaking the rules. You are being watched. We are logging your disobedience. Then came a recording, an audio file, my voice, me whispering in my sleep, rambling, and then a voice I didn't recognize. Don't resist the game. The next day I checked the app permissions. It had full access, mic, camera, storage, location, and it had somehow disabled my ability to revoke them. I tried to uninstall it. It wouldn't let me. My phone froze. When it restarted, my wallpaper had changed to an image of me sitting on the couch, taken from behind. I was alone in the house, or so I thought. I factory reset the phone twice, bought a new one, changed my number. But 3 nights later, the new phone pinged. No apps installed, no SIM card inserted. It buzzed anyway. And when I looked at the screen, it said, "You're still playing." I smashed the phone, disconnected everything. No Wi-Fi, no devices. I even moved in with my sister, thought I was safe, until one night she barged into my room, pale as death. Why is your phone connected to the baby monitor?" I hadn't even unpacked a phone. She showed me the feed. A grainy black and white night vision stream. Our living room. A man standing there, still, head tilted, staring at the monitor. Then, in the corner of the feed, a text overlay appeared. Level 2 unlocked. If a game says don't uninstall it, maybe it's not just a game. Story 4, The Infinite Child Chat Room. No one knew who created the chat room, only that it had been running for 14 years straight. This story begins in early 2016 when I was doing graduate research on online child exploitation networks for a cybersecurity thesis. It was heavy, disturbing work, but I was determined to help take something evil offline. During a Tor crawl, I found a small mention in a crack.onion directory. Just one line. Untraceable HT active 5,192 days. No timeout, no admins. The domain linked to what looked like an old-school IRC channel. Plain text, no logins. But the title struck me. INFCHT, Infinite Child Chat Room. There were no avatars, no profiles, just usernames. All lowercase in a constant stream of messages. At first, I thought it was an abandoned bot server. The messages were weirdly innocent, like children talking to each other. What's your favorite color? I saw a lady in the hallway again. He said not to go into the basement. All posted every few seconds, day and night, non-stop. Then I noticed something chilling. The same usernames kept coming back for hours, days, weeks. How? I started logging the data. I noticed that certain phrases triggered strange responses. For example, when one username typed, "Can I go home now?" Several others replied instantly, "Not yet. It's not time. Stay in the light room." The creepiest part? I cross-referenced a few of the oldest usernames with missing persons cases. I found 4 names that matched. Children who went missing between 2002 and 2006. One of them, Michael T., aged 9, had been missing for over a decade. But on INFCHT, his name, Mikey_T92, was still posting every day, asking for food, talking about school, wondering when his mom would visit. I froze, my stomach dropped. Either this was the most disgusting roleplay I'd ever seen, or something worse. I posted a message. "Michael, can you hear me?" 3 seconds later, he responded, "Who is this? Are you from the mirror room?" I didn't reply. I didn't know what to say. Another user joined. Their name was Doorkeeper. The chat froze. Then a single message. No outside contact. The site crashed. I tried accessing it again. It was gone. Directory scrubbed, no cached versions, nothing. But a day later, I got an email from a burner account. No subject, no text, just a single attachment. A screenshot of the chat. Only one message visible. "You've been added to the room." I've never found the site again. But every few months, I get strange notifications on my devices, timestamps and links that don't work. And once, just once, I heard a child's voice come from my laptop speakers. My volume was off. My browser was closed. She whispered, "He's coming back now. Get in your light room." If you ever find a chat room that's been active for decades, don't talk to the kids. They might still be waiting. Story 5. The Black File Protocol. They said it was just a legend, a kill switch embedded in global intelligence servers. But I found the files, and now they're watching. This began when I took a contract job for a cybersecurity firm in Berlin, 2019. They'd been hired to clean up a data breach tied to a dark net hosting service. My job was simple: identify leaks, archive anything dangerous, and report anomalies. On day 4, I stumbled on a folder buried 7 levels deep in a corrupted server partition. Its title, number BFP//75, short for Black File Protocol. Inside were a dozen compressed .bin files, time-stamped back to the early 2000s. One of them was named after a defunct US military base in Greenland. The others, all named with latitude/longitude coordinates. I clicked one. It didn't open like a normal file. The screen flickered. Then, white text on black. Do you authorize memory clearance? YN. I pressed N. The laptop crashed. When I rebooted, everything looked normal, except for one new folder on my desktop, when witnessed. Inside was a single image file, a blurred photo of a room I didn't recognize. But there was a person in it, me, sleeping. I tried scrubbing the drive, but the file replicated itself, hidden in the BIOS. Then the dream started. Every night I was in a white hallway, windowless, silent, endless. A voice would say, return the file, return the memory. But I hadn't taken anything. The files started changing, random bits of code rewritten, entire folders wiped, and new ones created, with my name. I contacted the firm's CTO. He went silent after seeing my screen. Then he messaged me, you activated BFP. You need to leave. 2 hours later, he was in a car accident. 3 others from the firm resigned overnight. The next day, a package arrived at my apartment. No sender, just a flash drive. It auto-ran the moment I inserted it. A video played, grainy, time-stamped for tomorrow. It showed me walking down my street and a black van pulling up. I left Berlin that night, booked a flight under a fake name, disappeared. But the files followed me. Public Wi-Fi hotspots display strange behavior when I connect. A TM cameras pan toward me. A stranger on a bus once whispered, you were warned. Memory must be balanced. The worst part? My own memories are starting to vanish. I can't remember what happened the week I found the files. But sometimes I wake up with bruises I can't explain. And every now and then, a system notification appears on my phone. Clearance level, witnessed, awaiting next download. If you ever find a folder called BFP, don't open it, because once you're marked, they never stop collecting. Story 6, the live stream that showed tomorrow. It wasn't a pre-recorded video, it was a live stream of my death, 24 hours before it happened. My name is Marcus Bell, and this happened in 2021, during the 3rd lockdown. I had been doom scrolling through deep web boards out of boredom, a terrible habit I picked up from my time moderating paranormal forums. That night, I found a post titled, "You've already died. Click to watch." It linked to a stream on a hidden service, password protected. The password was my full name. When I entered it, the stream loaded. It was me. On screen, I was sitting in my apartment, this apartment, drinking a cup of coffee, scrolling on my laptop. I checked my clothes. Same hoodie, same stain on the sleeve. It was live, except it wasn't now. In the corner of the stream was a timestamp. Tomorrow, 3:14 a.m. I watched for hours. Nothing happened, until it did. At exactly 3:14 a.m., a knock came at the door in the stream. I, on the stream, hesitated, stood up, peeked through the peephole. Then I opened the door. A man in a long, dark coat stepped in, his face obscured. He pulled something from his pocket. The lights flickered. I tried to pause the stream. Nothing worked. He walked behind me, behind stream me, and whispered something. Then he stabbed me. Once, right below the ribs. I collapsed, twitched, and stopped moving. The man turned to face the camera. For a split second, I saw his face. It was me. I didn't sleep that night. I checked every lock, every window. I even moved a dresser in front of the door. 3:14 came and went. No knock. I thought maybe I'd hallucinated it until I checked the video again. It had updated. New timestamp. Tonight. 3:14 a.m. And now in the video, I wasn't alone. There was someone in the background, standing in the corner of the room, almost in shadow. I turned to check. No one. But when I looked back at the stream, the figure moved. Closer. Each time I blinked, it got nearer. Then the stream glitched, and the entire screen showed static. Behind the static, one word appeared. Synced. My phone buzzed. A new notification from an unknown app. Your final upload is scheduled. I tried to delete it. My phone locked up. That night I left, drove 300 miles to a friend's cabin. No phone, no internet. Still, the stream played on. I saw myself in the cabin, sitting by the fireplace, watching a screen that shouldn't exist. I don't know how they're doing this. If it's a curse, a glitch in time, or some quantum mirror built to show you your final breath. But every night since, no matter where I go, the live stream updates. Each one ends the same way, with me, dead. At 3:14 a.m., sometimes by fire, sometimes drowning. One time, I just vanished. Tonight's feed just updated again. This time there's no attacker, no accident, just me, staring into the camera, smiling and whispering, "It's your turn now." If you ever see yourself in a live stream you didn't start, don't watch it. Watching is what makes it real.